Thank you, and thank you, Andrea, for inviting me. I'm here to talk about Kostministeriet. Maybe someone more talented in English than I can translate that. It's like the Ministry of Food, almost. Or? So Kostministeriet is an initiative to increase consumption of fruit and vegetables and berries. Behind the initiative is Total Produce Nordic, which is a fruit and vegetable company, a group of fruit and vegetable companies based in Helsingborg, southern Sweden. Currently, TPN, Total Produce Nordic, is financing Kostministeriet, but we are currently and always looking for partners that share our vision about increasing public health through increased consumption of fruit, vegetables and berries. So, Kostministeriet has made a number of campaigns which has been quite successful. I will share with you a few of them. We were founded a year and a half ago, so we've only been live since then. We've done some campaigns, so what you can see here. We also have a school chef education called Skala Upp. That's actually a play of words which is hard to translate. But that is an education for school chefs to make them cook and present and make fruit and vegetables tasty for kids. We do that together with School Matens Vänner, who is a school meal organization, and we offer that for free for school chefs throughout Sweden, both as a lecture and also online, of course, so we can reach everybody. We think that you have to work a bit differently than other fruit and vegetables campaign historically. We know that there are many barriers for people to eat more fruit and vegetables. You might not think that, because I don't think that anybody of us here in this room are really the problem. I think that most of you eat 500 grams a day, which is the recommendation, right? But very many people in this country eats almost nothing. And there are many, many barriers that we need to cross to make them eat more. So important for us is that we are pro vegetables, fruit and berries. We are not anti-meat. I will come back to that, why that is important, because anti-meat is actually a barrier for people to eat more fruit and vegetables. So I just want to share with you some things that we have done. We work with humor. We don't work with the traditional rational arguments about that fruit and vegetables are sustainable and healthy for you. Fruit and vegetables are also boring. So we have to make fruit and vegetables fun for the people that eat the least, right? So this is a series of video content that we've done together with comedian Måns Nilsson. This is actually Mythbusters influenced content. We test thesis on kids. So it's called Tested on Kids, right? So we test can kids be brainwashed to hate fruit? Can you bribe kids to eat more vegetables? This has been very successful on social media for the target group parents, and it's also used in our education Skala towards school chefs, right? Another way that we've been working, our most known campaign, I would say, is our Durian Challenge. We made the Durian Challenge last summer. So I don't think I'm gonna talk that much about that, but I'm gonna show you a video instead, right?
tillbaka till en ny video på min kanal.
Välkommen till Inga konstigheter.
Vad ska vi göra här egentligen?
Vi har fått hem en liten låda här från Kostministeriet.
Vi ska äta världens äckligaste frukt.
Världens äckligaste frukt.
Sluta skit!
So this is not your everyday rational, sustainable argument, right? But this really works. We got to talk to a target group that is really hard to talk about when it comes to food and when it comes to fruit and vegetables. Young people between 15 and 25. On the other hand, it's the highest amount of vegetarians in that target group. But on average, they eat less than older target groups. And they are really hard to reach with traditional sustainability arguments. So the Durden Challenge was one way of reaching them, which was very successful. So now to the Fruit and Vegetable Report 2019, FOG2019 as we call it. This is actually brand new from the printing house. It arrived yesterday. So bear with me, this is actually a world premiere of me speaking about this report. So I don't really have it in my bone marrow yet. But this is our second report. We made a report back in 2017, just before we launched Kostministeriet. Our aim is to learn more about the market, learn more about the barriers to increase consumption, and learn more on how to reach the people that needs the most to eat more fruit and vegetables to increase their health and for us to strengthen public health. So yes, it's been this is an online survey with 10,000 Swedes between the ages of 18 to 74. Sorry. It's also been a group of experts connected to the report, experts within different areas of society, and not only your traditional health experts. We have experts, we have gamers, we have YouTuber network executives, we have of course the Livsmedelsverket and other fruit and vegetables supporters, but we needed we wanted to reach out wide and have many different angles on how to increase consumption and how to reach a target group that is really hard to get. So the report contains 7 main insights. I will not go through all 7 insights, but some of them. You can of course grab a report only in Swedish and get the full experience of the report. So let's go. First insight is that work has just begun. It's not that people are not aware of the vegetarian trend. people, trust me, people are aware of the vegetarian trend, but their behavior is not changing as much as it should be. So people don't really eat more fruit and vegetables, in average. So the recommendation is, as I said, 500 grams a day, fruit and vegetables. We still don't eat enough. Adults eat, in average, just below 360 grams a day. So that's in spite of we have in the green trend, very many people eat way above 500 grams, but in average, we're still on less than 360. That is actually the same level as our last report, and it's the same level that you can see in many other surveys in this area. Kids eat when the parents state how much their kids eat, it's 340 grams, which is actually above what many other surveys state. So we still don't eat enough. We do see that knowledge about green cooking is it's a slightly positive trend. We see that fewer people have 0 vegetarian standard dishes. So fewer people don't know any vegetarian dish. The people that knows 1 to 10 vegetarian dishes are slightly increasing. So that is one sign of that the vegetarian cooking knowledge is slightly increasing. And as you see that if we ask the 10,000 Swedes what kind of food trends they see, of course they have seen that the vegetarian trend is the most important one. But that is not the same thing as they live like this, that they eat more fruit and vegetables. Because the consumption is still heavily polarized. But one positive thing is that 80% of those that eat the least are open to eat more, but they need help. They don't know how to cook fruit and vegetables. They don't know how it tastes. They don't know what it is. They know that it's good for you, but they need help. Okay? So this is an important slide to understand how the market and how the consumption works. Your traditional socioeconomic factors regarding eating does not give the whole picture on how the consumption of fruit and vegetables works. Of course, the socioeconomic factors are in the background, but if you look at the value dimensions, that gives a better picture on how the consumption works. That's why Kairos Future, who conducted a report with us, actually created Loigas. Loigas didn't exist as a marketing target group before. Lohas did. I bet you guys know about Lohas. I bet the most of us in this room are Lohas. Life of health and sustainability. Committed to the environment, health and sustainability, of course. Many of the marketeers are pointing this group. But forget about the others. Loigas, life, style of instant gratification and stability. Their values are different. They're more committed to things as reduced immigration, stability, better health care. And rarely no one is talking to them. So they don't have a consumption story, which means that people promoting fruit and vegetables focus on these guys. And those arguments does not work over here. So from a public health point of view, that is of course a problem, that we only have one consumption story. and those people, the Loigas group, are lagging behind. So that is a problem, right? We also see that these people rarely, it's not that they don't meet, but they don't understand each other. Which gives the second conclusion. It's moody around the dinner table. The polarization and conflict surrounding the moralization of food is a fact. So this is one way to put it. The Loigas group is irritated from the fact that they think that the vegetarians and vegans are smug, constantly trying to force their values upon others. And 20% of the households in this survey says that they have ongoing moral conflicts in the family, typically from the middle-aged dad to the teenage daughter. The dad wants his meat, he wants his beef. The vegan daughter hates that he likes beef, right? So this conflict is within the families, and that is a barrier to increased consumption of fruit and vegetables. So above 60% of the Loigas group supports the fact, the statement that says that I'm irritated by vegans and vegetarians that try to force upon me their habit. On the other hand, the Loigas group says that everyone has a moral obligation to eat less meat and more fruit and vegetables for the sake of the climate. So that is the polarization, the field that we need to operate in. And that means that messages targeted to Loigas will irritate the Loigas group and will not make them eat more fruit and vegetables. So that is really important to bear in mind if we want to increase consumption for everyone. But there are lifelines for the Loigas group. Just don't throw them away, right? Most people want to eat more fruit and vegetables. 80% says they want to increase their consumption. That's a really good thing, right? Vegetables above almost 70, berries around 60, more fruit around 60 in the Loigas group. But less than 10% would consider becoming a vegetarian. So the lifelines can be dip sauce. Carrot sticks with dip sauce. That is really tasty, right? Don't push the vegan or the healthy aspects of the carrot. Just state that it's really good if you dip it in a mushy sauce. Meat is also a lifeline. Let's not forget that. Many people like the meat, right? So if we present the best barbecue vegetables to their Friday beef, they are more likely to increase the consumption of fruit and vegetables. And as a consequence, they might eat some less meat. So that's a good thing. But we have to use the lifelines. So do not push vegetarian to that target group, right? The Loigas group doesn't care that much about health benefits. They just want a really tasty meal. So let's push the tasty aspect of the fruit and vegetables and berries. Kale fried in butter is really tasty. And it's also healthy, right? If you not have too much butter. As a parallel to you talked about Elon Musk before, you mentioned him. I mean, Tesla is not in the first time promoted as a sustainable car. it's just a really cool car, right? So vegetables are just really good, really, really tasty. And by the way, it happens to be sustainable as well for this group. So push on the tasty aspects. So it's 7 main insights. You find them all in the report. So please grab a report. I won't go through any more of the insights. The report also includes a few practical tips to people or organizations or other companies that want to increase the consumption of fruit and vegetables. How can we get people to eat more? I would just share with you 2 of them. The rest of them are in the report, of course. From claims and demands to taste and delight. Well, as I said, push the tasty, delicious things about fruit and vegetables. Do not over push the healthy and sustainable aspects. At least not for all target groups. And we need to tell more than one consumption story. The healthy, sustainable story, the vegetarian story is working, but not for everyone. It's working for the Lohas group. For the Loigas group, we need to find another parallel story about the tasty, yummy side of fruit and vegetables. Because the will is there, 8 out of 10 wants to increase their consumption, they just don't know how. So let's teach them, let's inspire them. All right, that's it.